Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm Lucas and welcome back to another video, and today we are talking about F1 22, the new Formula 1 game this year, as we had today on the 21st of April the official reveal where we learned our first details on the new game coming out on the 1st of July later this year, which we're going to get into, and yeah, I've compiled all the details that I've learned through the day from reading various articles and stuff. So yeah, I should hopefully have all the answers from today's review for you in this video. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So F1 22 is available for pre-order and purchase on yeah, all the various platforms. It will be released on the 1st of July, but there is the Champions Edition, I believe it's called, that will, yeah, Champions Edition, that will give you 3 days early access, so you will be able to play on the 28th of June. And with the Champions Edition, you get some added benefits that I'll pop up onto screen right now, but then you've also got the base version of the game. F1 2022 will be on the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC via the EA app, Origin, Steam, and Epic Store via the EA website, where I've got that information. So, so that's all you need to know about the release date, I think. So yeah, now we've got the game release date and the versions out of the way along with the platforms, let's get into some details about the game that we learned today, starting off with the handling. Now obviously with F1 in 2022 in the real life, we had the biggest set of regulation changes probably ever. So we have a massive overhaul on how the cars are, how they look, how they handle, and that brings me to the fact that we have a new handling model for this year's F1 game. It has been, from all the articles I've sort of read, it's been refined, it's been built up to give a much more authentic feel to these new cars, and also in general how to drive them, which is a massive core element of the game that I think is majorly important. Every year the handling model is something I'll think about, because naturally when you're driving, if it's nicer to drive and more realistic to drive, you're gonna have more fun. So I mean, yeah, big positive thing to hear that the handling model is getting some improvements this year, so that's awesome. And along with that, there is also a tyre model I guess update as well. I mean, the tyre models changed as well this season, or this game I should say, and yeah, it's these are two very important things to me, having a handling model upgrade and a tyre model upgrade, I guess, as well. I mean, these are very core elements to the game, and hopefully what we'll see from, you know, the likes of the tyre model is, you know, more realistic temperatures with the core and the surface of the tyre, how you manage the tyres, how they, you know, how they degrade as well. These are really small things maybe to some people, but to me these are really important details when it comes to the general playability of the game and how we are going to operate it. You know, when we do competitive racing, I mean, obviously I'm, you know, being an F1 Esports driver, competitive stuff is really at the core of what I'm thinking about quite often. So really good to see that we're getting some focus on the handling and the tyres. Next up, we have, for the first time ever in F1 games, VR compatibility. I believe the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, as I check my notes, will be compatible with this year's F1 game, which I think is going to be really cool to see. Yeah, people and, you know, content creators start to experiment with, you know, different challenges. I can already see the titles, you know, Last of Us Monaco with a VR headset, trying to survive open lobbies in a VR headset. It's going to make for some pretty cool content, and it's something that people have been looking for a while, so pretty excited to see how that one pans out. Moving on to what is a brand new feature for this year, and it's called F1 Life, and from what I've understand, it's sort of like a way for you to experience the life, the glitz, the glamour, the life of an F1 driver, and it's sort of like a hub where you get to show off supercars and drive supercars and something called like the Pirelli Hot Lap stuff. Maybe similar to how you have like the Hot Lap experiences in real life. So not what I was expecting to hear. I don't really know how that'll work or how much it'll be used. I have no idea, but a new feature, I guess. We have supercars now, and we also have the likes of like clothes and accessories, I guess, in that area where you can sort of customize and yeah, be just sort of earn these things. I think it also earn them through the Podium Pass as well. So it's like a progression with the Podium Pass. You'll be able to earn all these different things. So yeah, I guess that's one of the main new features for this year's game. As for returning features, now we have my team obviously returning again, but there are some key differences for this season. So we have budgets in my team now. Now obviously in the last two F1 seasons in 2021 and 2022, we've had the introduction of a budget cap. So I guess that is something sort of maybe playing into the game now. So you're going to be able to see a different element come into play where you have to think about your budget, your spending, and the my team, which is going to be yeah, pretty something else to strategically think about. So that's definitely a cool feature that they've added in now. Also, they've expanded the department events in the game. So like when you have events between like your different departments, such as your chassis, your aero, your engine, your reliability, you know, there's going to be expansion in that area, I believe. And also deeper livery customization, which I'm quite sure we're going to end up probably seeing some pretty cool liveries over the course of the next game cycle. So that's going to be pretty awesome aesthetically. And the 10-year career mode is back as always, along with the F2 cars. They're not going anywhere. They're with the 2021 and the 2022 F2 cars, and also multiplayer making a return. All of these features, I imagine, have been developed, have been improved. So hopefully we see some improvements in all of the returning areas from the over the years in the franchise, so that we can get the best out of every area of the game. So you have your new things that are coming in this year, such as F1 Life, but I'm hoping that the likes of the multiplayer, the existing features get a good upgrade. I get a good improvement as well. So that should be something to hopefully look forward to. Also in my team as well, there is actually, I believe, some practice program changes as well. I believe the practice programs that you do will now change a bit. So that's something that I think is pretty cool. We're gonna have some, I guess, different practice programs, different way we do it. So. And yeah, I mean, I think that's a good thing, because over the years, it's gotten quite repetitive, the sort of same thing you do every single weekend. So I'll look forward to the practice programs having a bit of a shake-up. As is similar with real life, we have the addition of F1 sprint races. They are coming to the F1 22 game, where we will get to experience sprint format, and that'll be pretty interesting to see how that's incorporated into my team, into career mode, into league racing. League racing mightn't choose to use it. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We don't know. But the sprint races are coming to F1 22. Also new in the new game is there are, I believe, immersive and cinematic sort of options for the formation laps and safety car period. And I guess what this maybe means is that instead of you being you don't have to just drive the car in the formation lap, or you don't need to just drive. You can have cinematic options, so that basically, I'm guessing you won't need to drive it, but you will have some cool cinematics on the warm-up formation lap and safety car periods. And also, I believe interactive pit stops are coming to the game, and I have no idea what that specifically means. I just see here that it says interactive pit stops, so yeah, we'll see what that is. And yeah. Also coming as well as adaptive AI, and I believe this is aimed maybe at newer players, so that what I imagine this is basically going to be. I don't have I haven't seen exactly what this means, but what I'm guessing this is basically where the AI, the level is adjustable, varied to the driver's pace. So like if you're like going quicker all of a sudden, learning a lot, the AI will then ramp up a bit in terms of difficulty. So I think that's quite a good sort of adaptive feature, I guess. Let's see what I did there. But basically, yeah, new feature. Yeah, it's aimed sort of more for the less experienced players, so certainly not a bad thing. And finally, I believe we're going to talk about tracks. Now, of course, we have the addition of the Miami Grand Prix, which is coming to F1 this year on the calendar. We will actually be able to see the race around Miami before we get to try it for ourselves in the F1 game, but that is being added to the calendar on this year's game. So a new track for us to all to try, so what's not to love? And also, in terms of tracks, there will be track changes to the Abu Dhabi circuit, so that we won't have the old version, we're going to have the up-to-date version from last season. Also, Australia from this year will be in the game, so it won't be the old one, we're going to have the new one. And the Jeddah, which I'll put up on the screen right now, Jeddah will be up to date, so all the curbs, the track modelling will be much more precise, which I think is a really good thing, because I think the flow of Jeddah will be much improved now. We will have much more realistic track layout, whereas before, when the game got when the Jeddah track got released partway through the F1 2021 cycle, you had to do a lot of like corner cuts, and it was quite a weird one. But yeah, awesome to see that these tracks are getting some attention to give us, you know, the most authentic, you know, track layouts as possible. And also, I've noticed as well from a screenshot that Spain Turn 10 has been updated as well, so that, I guess that's another track that's been shown a bit of love. And I don't think this is the last of the tracks that we're going to see modified. I believe we're going to see more than just these tracks have some positive changes. I mean, take Zandvoort for example. The real life Zandvoort race was happened, the first Zandvoort race last year happened after the 2 F1 games that had Zandvoort in it due to COVID were released. So hopefully we will see rid of the old big bouncy curbs that we have at Zandvoort on the F1 2021 game, and we will get the much better real life curbs that we have at the Zandvoort track. So I think we're going to see some good improvements across quite a few tracks in this game, which is big thumbs up. And I believe that covers basically most of the features. So yeah, I believe we've got a new handling model, new tyre model, VR functionality, F1 life, the returning features, so that's like my team, career mode, multiplayer, F1 sprint is being added, immersive options for safety car periods, formation laps, pit stops are being interactive, adaptive AI and track modifications. Those are the things that I have on my lists. My list in front of me. So yeah, I hope I've gave you guys a good rundown, and I hope I've covered close to, if not almost all of the information that came out today on the 21st of April, where we got our first pieces of information and first screenshots that I'll hopefully play through this video at the new game, at the new era of F1 games and F1 as a whole. So hope you enjoyed the video, hope it was informative enough for you. Hope to catch you guys in our future videos. If you enjoyed this one and you found it useful and informative, please drop a like and feel free to subscribe by clicking the button below. And yeah, stay tuned for more content as we learn more about F1 22 as time gets closer to the release date on the 1st of July and early access on the 28th of June. And I think that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And yeah, take care. Ciao.